This is a story of courage and wisdom, faith and loyalty. The band of epic heroes had completed many quests for their king. They had defeated the evil witch and rescued the most beautiful princess in the whole wide kingdom. They had recaptured the royal diamond mines from giant spiders and their queen mother. They had freed the people of the Five Kingdoms by slaying the terrifying Great White Dragon. But even legends grow old and stories fade. The kingdom lived in prosperity for many years, and one hero after another disappeared. But then, after years of peace, they were summoned to court once more. The has-been heroes would have one final quest, the most epic of them all: to take the twin princesses to school. This is the story of the has-been heroes.
Hello and welcome back to this thing, 100 million years of roguelites forever. This one's Has Been Heroes. This game is hard. Or, I'm bad at it. There's one or the other, you can take your pick.
Welcome to the
Either way,
forest.
we start out on this nice map, and our objective is to get to this boss icon over here. To do that, we pass through battles, or, more likely, empty spaces, and question marks, which can be merchants, altars, treasure chests, or other good things. For instance, this altar, if we sacrifice a candle at it, we got a key. Not the best item, but if we find chests. Never mind, it worked out pretty well. So these are treasure chests. Let's see what's in this locked one. Floating skull. So items in this game, unless you pick them up, you don't know what they are. Once you pick them up once, you know. This is a floating skull, however, and those are always really good. It will randomly deal frost damage to enemies. We also got another candle and another key. Nice. So that done, let's have an actual fight. So, Has Been Heroes is a tower defense game. It is lane-based. There are 3 lanes. Every character has their lane, and every character has a basic melee attack, like so. Once you make an attack, you can switch characters around. Take advantage of openings and so forth. All characters also start with one spell. For example, Luchador has Thunder Strike, which will buff someone's next attack, and it will drain stamina, up to 20 stamina from the enemy. The Rogue has Double Strike, which will let anyone attack twice as many times as they otherwise would. As you notice, the Luchador has 1 attack, Rogue has 3, Bard has 2. And then the Bard has a basic water spell that will deal damage to an enemy. Nothing too special there. So the key concept of this game, the one thing you have to pay attention to all the time, is stamina. Stamina are these green bars next to both your characters and enemies. For instance, this guy has 3 staminas, this guy has 2, this guy had 1 until I hit him, now he has none. And once you deplete an enemy's stamina, you can start dealing damage to them. So if I hit this guy, nothing's gonna happen yet. But if I follow up, hit him again, he's now stunned because he has no stamina. And if I hit him one more time while he's stunned, he gets knocked way back, most importantly. Secondly, he loses a dot of stamina. Notice this guy I hit. I didn't deplete his stamina before I hit him, so he only got knocked back a little bit. But now if I hit him, way back there. So the main thing you want to be doing is, first of all, not lagging out completely. And second of all, is hitting an enemy the exact amount of times as they have stamina. Because if you don't, they don't get knocked back as far, and then they come back with the exact same amount of stamina. But if you do, it makes your life much easier. So as long as you know how to do simple subtraction, you should be pretty good at this game. In theory. All characters also have health, which is red. Once you deplete their stamina, it goes to health. Sadly, my rogue, or my bard, already got hit, which is kind of a bummer. You also might notice this game has status effects, such as freezing, which my skull keeps shooting out freezing arrows. There's also water, lightning, fire, charm, and a few other things. And another fight, great. At least it's more money. Another important thing are character classes. Right now my party is made up of the Bard, the Luchador, and the Rogue. The Rogue is always going to be in your party, no matter what. But support classes, such as the Bard, can be switched out. Right now I have a Tiger Man and an Old Wizard unlocked, but I like the Bard the best out of all of them. And the Luchador is our heavy hitter. I also have an Old Warrior that I put on the bench for now. But every time you beat the game, you unlock a new character. Every time you beat the game, it also becomes harder, and you get one extra level to go through on the next run. I am currently halfway through the game, and I probably won't get any farther than that, because, as I mentioned, it's pretty hard. Also, tower defense is not my cup of tea, although the roguelite elements do make this one a bit more palatable to me. I wouldn't hesitate to say, though, that this game is based a lot on chance. There's some element of skill, but to beat the later bosses, you're really going to be relying on having gotten some good spells and good items. Also, there's a guy with like 20 stamina coming for me. I should get rid of him. But yeah, for instance, this flying skull that freezes people, really good item. Glad I got it. And then the last important thing about the combat system is these two princesses back here. First of all, we're taking them to school. Second of all, once you kill enough enemies, their soul orbs will be filled. And once they are, you can cast a spell for free, which tends to be pretty useful, although you probably won't see it too much outside of boss fights. So what do we got? We got a lightning spellbender and a merchant. So I think we're going to go to both of them, because somehow I have a lot of money. Banana bag is alright. Health doesn't really matter. Faster spell recharge and faster melee, however, are pretty great. So we're going to give that to the Luchador. Now, I'm going to probably buy a lightning spell, which the Luchador will take advantage of. every character has 5 spell slots. They start with a basic spell, and then characters have some specializations, like if I put a spell here, hopefully a lightning spell, lightning will chain further between enemies. I got Eye of the Storm, which is a pretty good spell to show that off with. And now I will use a candle and travel back. Looks like we got a spell gambler here. That looks like a fire spell. Not real hot on fire, but let's play a game. The nice thing is, every time you lose, she puts another spell in. And I lost all of them somehow, so no spells for me. Instead, let's take a look at the boss. Ah, the Crypt Skeleton. This kingdom is rife with skeleton violence. The skeleton bloods and crypts are everywhere. So this guy is pretty easy. Your basic beginner boss. He has a bit of stamina. You hit him, he goes back. He doesn't really do anything special. The worst thing about him is that he's kind of fast. Let's try out our new spell here. Critical hits, as you might have noticed, will do damage even if they have stamina. So they're kind of useful if you can get something that will boost criticals. That was probably a bad move on my part. That's fine though. There's also a synergy between certain types of spells. For example, if I were to soak this guy, and then use a lightning spell, I deal double damage. And because it's the Luchador, he makes lightning arc around to surrounding enemies, which is pretty helpful. Spells, importantly, ignore stamina.
Epic kill!
And one boss down. We also get a little money for that, although not as much as I'd like. And move on to the next area.
Welcome.
Every time you beat the game, a new area is added, up to 8, I believe. I'm about halfway through right now. And I'm trying to avoid fights for video length, but the game is not working with me here. Cool thing you probably noticed about Frost, it freezes enemies for a short time. It also lets you deal direct damage and go past stamina, which is handy. getting a little close for comfort. Although I'm about to recharge my lightning spell, so that's going to be useful. Alright, so that worked out alright. Other than, you know, getting hit, but I'll live. For now. Not for long, most likely. There's also a timer up here, and once it ticks down, the fight is over. All the enemies will run away if they can. But, if you beat them all within the time limit, you get a 20 gold bonus. Stamina camps are pretty good. They let you recover all your stamina. And since I haven't been doing too hot, I'm gonna go ahead and hit that. And that's another fight, and I don't want to do fights right now, so we're gonna skip that. Fire Vendor I don't really care about. Lightning Spell Vendor I care more about, but don't have money. However, this might fix that. Increased critical hit chance usually goes well with the rogue. Then we'll go backwards. And see what this lightning vendor has for us. Not bad. This one causes fear. Also, it is possible to get a second one of the spell you already have, which is annoying. Let's find out what's in the box. Bunch of keys. That's another fight, and because I just got a candle, I'm going to avoid it. Locksmiths sell keys. They also sell a super key, which will basically set you up for life. It's 99 keys. We got a rare merchant, but I don't have any money. So let's just go to the boss. Ah, the free skeletons. These guys are pretty easy. The main thing about these guys is that you don't want to let the bottom one hit you. He does a lot of damage, and he gets a lot of attacks. The big guy up there is real slow. He will probably eventually get to you and hit you as you take care of the others, but he's not a big deal. It's the guy at the bottom, really, that you want to look out for. I don't know if this fear spell will work on him. It will damage him, though, because it's lightning and he's soaking wet. I'm going to wait on that for right now. Alright, done waiting. Nope, can't be feared. Oh well. Alright, so let's knock you back first. And then we'll have to stall you. Man, this frozen skull is really pulling its weight. So I would say that the most useful spells are probably stamina breaking spells, fear spells after that, and then lastly just direct damage spells. Well, you're gone. And this should take care of you. Oh, not quite. I screwed up. Really, dude? Alright. There we go.
The great monster.
And that's another boss down.
Welcome to the cemetery.
Let's see how fast we can get to this other guy. Red pill gives immunity to fire. Also gets you out of the matrix. So I will give it to... I was thinking the Luchador right now, because he needs spell recharge. Or melee damage, rather. He's now gonna go post on Reddit. Getting into way too many fights. I might fast forward some of these. Just to keep this thing like a reasonable length. This guy I haven't seen before. So this is always a good option for crowd control. Fear spells send everyone running back, not just the person you hit. So I probably want you down here. One thing about this game is that it was kind of made for a controller, so using the mouse to move everything around is finicky at times. You have to do a lot of dragging around. But I found the controller to be really unintuitive and kept making mistakes with it. So I kind of just decided to stick with the mouse after all. You need to go away, dude. It's getting a little bit dicey. would like one of you to go away. It's probably gonna be you. You dead yet? No. So like I said, the game gets harder as you go on. But I think I got this under control now. Maybe. Well, time ran out. Saved by the buzzer. One last kill. Two treasure chests, an HP camp, don't need that. Treasure would be nice. And I got plenty of candles to spare. So fun thing about this game, when you run into an item you haven't picked up yet, you don't know what it does. Once you pick it up, though, you will know forever. That's pretty good. This kind of gives me an opportunity to talk about something that I haven't gotten to in the thread yet. And that is one of the common features of roguelikes, the obfuscation of certain information. So first of all, let's buy this lightning potion. And let's also buy this weird time cube thing. That's gonna make the luchador pretty good. I'd rather skip a fight. Guess it doesn't matter. Good waste of a candle. But hey, while I do this fight, I can talk about what I was just talking about. Obfuscation of information is something that happens in a lot of roguelites. I would even say the majority of them, to some degree or another. Some of them go all in. I wouldn't say Isaac, because Isaac does kind of tell you stuff, unless it's about tarot cards. Enter the Gungeon is pretty stingy about telling you what things are until you have them. Generally, the rule is don't let the player know what they have until they actually experiment with it. There are a few that buck that rule, like Cryptarch, or Renowned Explorers doesn't really have that element as much. But on the whole, I kind of prefer to know what things are. Like, given the choice between information or not, I find it's more fun to make informed choices. Although I'm not super broken up when I don't get them. But I just thought it was interesting. I never actually talked about that before. And that's one of the big staples. I do hate things like the tarot cards in Isaac and the random potions in Necropolis. Those I'm not a super fan of. Like, once I get something, I should know what it is. I hate to remember what things are because I have a very terrible memory. Well, so things are getting bad over here. I'm not liking this. Rip Bard, you did your best. Alright, this is a little more manageable. the enemies are at 1 bar of stamina though, which is not cool. You guys go away for now. I'm kind of tired of you. And you can probably just die. So the game tends to play out where the more spells you have, the higher chance you'll get things done. Which is why you should always go looking for spell vendors. Only I got the money for the full kill. Sorry buddy, I'm broke. Let's see what we got here. This is the Fire Lich. Actually no, this is the slightly easier fire boss. The Fire Lich is a pain in the ass, this guy is doable. His main thing is, if you attack him, he lights you on fire. And fire will do a small amount of health damage over time. He's also apparently immune to my skull. One thing you can do, however, is douse him, which will make him slower. Much slower. He also doesn't really summon that many minions, which makes this fight a bit easier. But yeah, I want to get him down to 0 stamina as soon as possible, and that'll make the fight super easy. The other boss I could have gotten, the Fire Lich, is actually much harder and would have certainly killed me. Probably get rid of these guys. Oh, there are also a few spellcaster skeletons. They will shoot fire at you. Not many enemies in this game have long-range attacks, but when they do, they're pretty annoying.
Double kill.
You can, however, interrupt them in the middle of their attack, and that will stop the spell from going off, although it's hard to actually time right. Thankfully, my luchador is immune to fire. Unfortunately, he's not recharging quite as fast as I wish. But, doesn't matter, because I just switched the Bard into a place where he's going to get murdered.
The hero
Later, Bard.
lost, and the reign of evil continued.
So yeah, that's about as far as I usually make it. I played pretty sloppy that fight. That guy really is the easier boss of the two you could get there. But hey, at least it keeps the video on time. And when you die, you turn in your souls and you can get new items. This game has a lot of items in it. Like a lot. I'm not even halfway done. I'm still unlocking tons of stuff. But hey, that was Has Been Heroes. It's also on the Nintendo Switch. So if you buy it, then you can have 3 games on the Nintendo Switch. Wow!